Hi guys, Danny here. Today I'm going to talk about and go over the up and coming IPX Eureka decentralized finance ecosystem that they are building, and the first applications is coming out, what effects that's going to have on IPX token, Eureka token, and also I'm going to talk a little bit about the cloud storage that's coming along here, which is also an ecosystem. And let's first start about let's have a quick chat about what we mean by ecosystem and how it's going to be built on the Eureka blockchain and why it solves real world problems as when we're talking about congestion and high transaction fees and slow transaction times. So what is the ecosystem? Okay, they are building a decentralized finance applications, different parts of them. I guess you could call them the bones of the ecosystem. So it's not like they're just building one application. They're building several, but they're also building the ecosystem. So you're gonna have Eureka Swap, Eureka Lend. You're gonna have a self-wrapping mechanism, a new wallet, and some other stuff for the DeFi. But what they're also building is tools, tools for developers to come and build their own decentralized application on the ecosystem. And I hope that makes sense. It's if you think about, like, if you're familiar with Binance Smart Chain or Ethereum, I can kind of explain the difference in the form of, I believe that they're going to be using side chains for this and for all of their ecosystems. There will be more ecosystems coming, and now Polaris Universal, the development company, is now focusing all their efforts on developing ecosystems, not just projects. They will develop the ecosystems, and I guess they will develop the first projects on those ecosystems. Those ecosystems relating to side chains, I can explain it like this. What is a side chain? Well, on the Eureka network, you can look at it like this, or you can look at it like Ethereum. Let's use Ethereum right now because they have a lot of congestion problems. And why do they have congestion problems? And why do they have high fee problems? They have the high transaction fee problems because of congestion. Think of it like a highway. Here's a highway, right? That's the Ethereum highway. Somebody creates a token, and the Ethereum native coin on the blockchain is also using this highway. So here comes a token that's just been created. It's like all of a sudden here comes a new bunch of cars that are all made by Ford. Boom. Ford goes on there. All of their cars go on there, and boom, they start driving. They create another car. It comes on. It starts driving. More cars, more cars. These are tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. More and more tokens are running on the same highway. Every time a new token comes out, it's running on the highway. When they created USDT, which is a stable coin that is pegged to the US dollar, that is an Ethereum token too, and that is being used massively in trading, decentralized finance, and the more and more of those that are created and using this highway causes congestion. So what happens is, because of the way their system is now, somebody pays a higher fee, they can go through the highway faster, just like you use the overpass. You want to use the speedway, you pay, you go. People that don't have the money are the slower cars. It takes longer and it costs you more and more and more. That's the problem with Ethereum blockchain and a lot of blockchains. Now, with Eureka blockchain, they have the side chains. What that side chain is okay, you got the main chain here where the Eureka and tokens can also travel on it. But when you create a side chain, that's another highway. Now you create a side chain, like this is what I believe they're going to do. I don't work for the company, a full disclaimer, but I do my homework. And I know this is like the most incredible part of the Eureka blockchain. Besides it being built with Ethereum and Bitcoin technology, literally they can do anything that Bitcoin, Ethereum can do, but better. it is a hard fork from the quantum blockchain. So they took that hard fork and they added, I think, about 600 extra pages of code to enable these sidechain development, make it 100% decentralized, so anybody can stake on their computer and be a node, and a lot of other cool stuff. But so, okay, Eureka blockchain, main highway. Now here comes IPX token. IPX token comes out on its own side chain over here. It's running on a parallel highway, but it's not running on the main highway. Now, if it has its own side chain, the only traffic that will ever be on that side chain will be IPX token. No other traffic. So you have just solved the problem of congestion, right? And since it's built with the technology and architecture of Ethereum as well, you can use Ethereum virtual machinery, smart contracts, and all that. It's backwards compatible. So you actually, like I said, Eureka can do everything Ethereum can do, but better. Now, a transaction cost on the Eureka blockchain right now is, let's see, I'm just going to do a quick calculation for you here. Say 0.0003 cents for a transaction. Now, cheap? Yes. 10% of every transaction fee on the Eureka blockchain is burned. That's gas that you're burning, so it's built in, the burning mechanism is built into the blockchain. So let's say Eureka price goes up 20,000%, gas prices go up 20,000%. It's 0.0003 cents right now, times 20,000% puts it at 6 cents per transaction. So even if the price skyrockets, you've still got an extremely cheap transaction fee. So what do we got here? We've got side chains. They solve the problem of congestion and high transaction fees. So with Eureka side chains, what I'm talking about. So they built this side chain. Now they're going to launch. This is going to be the IPX side chain. They'll launch the DeFi on it, and they'll also launch cloud storage, decentralized cloud storage also on that side chain. Now they can build more and more stuff on it. Doesn't matter, because IPX has a maximum supply of 1 billion tokens. So there will never be anything else traveling on that side chain. Scalability is insane. They only have those tokens, nothing else, never, ever have congestion. You know, they can build another side chain and another side chain and another side chain, and I believe the Eureka network can have nothing but an unlimited supply of side chains. So, you know, when they start building these dApps and these ecosystems, then it will bring developers in, incentivize them to build on it. So with IPX, okay, just wanted to get that out there, guys. Kind of explain to you what a side chain is, how it solves real world problems. Okay, so IPX, they're building the ecosystem. I hope you understand that now. They'll build the first dApps on the ecosystem, and they'll also build a toolkit to incentivize other developers to come build their own decentralized finance applications at will, because it is a decentralized blockchain. The code is on GitHub. They're going to put the tools out there so anybody can build on it. Nobody owns Eureka blockchain, and nobody will own IPX Eureka decentralized finance. Nobody will own that. That is a decentralized program. Will be completely ran on smart contracts. And basically, okay, how about for people that don't know what decentralized finance is, let's just go ahead and go through a quick explanation of it. Decentralized finance is a bank without a bank. That's it. I mean, if you can get your head around that, that's it, really. So you've got in a normal bank, I go to the bank and I put my money in. What does the bank do with it? The bank probably lends it out to other people, and they pay interest on it. Who keeps that interest? The bank. Because let's face it, the banks aren't paying interest these days. You might get 1% a year and that's it, but I think they're probably making around 10% at least with your money. So, keeping your money in the bank these days doesn't work anymore, not to make money. And with inflation coming and then printing more money, doesn't work either. So the way DeFi works is there is no bank. It's a decentralized automatic application based on the blockchain that works with smart contracts, and things happen automatically. You have lenders and you have borrowers. Just like in the bank, you have people that deposit, you have people that borrow, and in the middle you got the banks. It's a bank without a bank, decentralized finance. So let's say you take your crypto and you want to lend it into the DeFi. You do that. Somebody else comes in, they want to borrow from the DeFi, from the decentralized bank. They do that. They borrow, they pay back with interest based on whatever the contract says in the lending. And we're just talking about lending, and that's what's coming here in the next week is Eureka Lend. So somebody borrows and they pay back with interest. That interest goes to the people that provided the liquidity, that put their deposits in. Just like you loan money to somebody and they pay you back with interest. It's the same thing, except it's going to be a lot more complicated on the internal workings and how they bring value to the IPX token. Because let's say you've got a group of liquidity providers. Yeah, they put in their liquidity, they're staking their IPX, their Eureka, their Bitcoin, their Ethereum, whatever. Somebody's borrowed it and they paid the tax or the interest. Now what happens? What happens is that interest, I assume, will go to the market to purchase IPX token off the market and distribute it back to the liquidity providers, the people that deposited for other people to borrow. Now, at this point, it could get a lot more complicated, and I think it will, and I think it'll get more complicated in a good way because, as Bill has explained, it's come out of his mind and a team of incredible developers that have sat back and watched this whole industry develop, and they have come up with a way to continually increase the value of IPX token, the holders. How are they going to do that? I could only guess, but I can give you an example. Let's say, like I just described, somebody's borrowed, they've paid back the interest. The smart contract goes into the market to purchase IPX off the market. Let's say now they take 50% of that IPX and distribute that to the holders. They take another percentage, send that to the burn address, destroy it. So there is now less supply, less total supply, less circulating supply. And just that one mechanism over time, taking IPX out of circulation, off the markets, will have a big effect. Less supply, more demand, higher price. So that could be just part of the mechanism. I think there's a lot more to it that they're doing because from what I've read and what they've said, maybe they'll take out of let's say they got that 100% of tax that the IPX they bought off the market to distribute, half of it goes to liquidity providers. Let's say half of it goes to burn, half of the other 50% goes to burn, then maybe the other half actually goes into something else like something that produces interest to go back to buying more IPX off the market to destroy it, an automatic burning mechanism or something like that. I don't know. But I do know that they do have something like that, and they have described the fact that they're doing something nobody else has done, nobody else is doing, and it will be a mechanism to continually raise the price of IPX token, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So that is the first part of the DeFi. That will be Eureka Land. Let's go through what Nabil said here first. And then we'll start. Actually, what I'm going to show you here, it starts describing other parts of the DeFi, but I kind of just wanted to go over that and give you a roundabout idea of how this could be. I don't know for sure it's going to be on side chains, but I believe it is. Now, you should at least have a basic understanding of what a side chain is on the Eureka network, how special it is, how we could never have problems with congestion, how they're going to build decentralized apps on this ecosystem, and the toolkit to bring developers in from anywhere in the world that want to build on it, that already have experience building on Ethereum, which most of them do. This would be familiar with them. Boom, boom, boom. Let's bring them in. So there, and when we get down here, I'm going to explain some other stuff to you that is absolutely insane, and it is absolutely, when you really understand it, it is crazy. I mean, we haven't really even got into the full technology of what they are building here. It's beautiful, really. So Nabil wrote this, and I copied it. So let's just have a look at it. He said, there are groundbreaking developments we feel like we should share with you. Big part of our research, resource targets, identified trends. They identifying trends. So basically what Nabil is saying here is they haven't built this fast. They've been sitting back and watching the DeFi, decentralized finance world in crypto absolutely explode. They've been watching it and they're identifying trends. They're not just jumping in and say, hey, that works great, let's do it real quick. They've been waiting and watching and taking their time. A post-COVID world showed us just how our global economy lives in the cloud. Stock market rallied, stronger, and the economy was fully functional thanks to the servers around the world. So they're saying the internet saved our day. That's the trend they saw. If we hadn't had cloud going on, then during this COVID crisis, everything could have collapsed. Our current internet, unfortunately, not decentralized, because the 21st century oil is data, not oil. Basically talking about how data is more expensive than oil. Your personal data, your what you surf on the web, this data is absolutely the new oil. So whoever controls the data flow controls the internet. We could decentralize data. If we could solve problems that coexisted with humanity throughout all the history, and we could create all sorts of things that never existed before, because we always had to rely on centralized entities at some point. So it's getting into the power of decentralization. I don't know if you really want me to read through all this. So I'm just going to kind of skip ahead. So down here we say we genuinely believe that Eureka has the most scalable blockchain technology, as I've just described to you with the sidechain technology. It is unbelievably scalable, more than any other blockchain on the face of the earth. So the most scalable blockchain technology in the world, and by leveraging it to build the fastest and most efficient decentralized finance ecosystem in the world, we will continually bring more and more value to ERK and IPX in perpetuity. Right now, Bitcoin excelled in the store of value application on blockchain. Store of value is just the first of the many groundbreaking applications of blockchain technology. This application will be spread across multiple chains, and we believe the technological advantage of Eureka will allow us to build fascinating DeFi innovations and put Eureka amongst the pioneers of futures of finance. Okay, let's get into it. Next 5 steps, which plan will be placed very soon, will create the perfect DeFi infrastructure to today's standards, and also has a place at everything by the devs to innovate more and build more, make Impulse X the biggest DeFi hub in the world. There he's kind of talking about the toolkit that I was explaining to you for the developers to get them, incentivize them to come build on the Impulse X decentralized finance ecosystem. So the step, then we've got 5 steps here. State-of-the-art wallet to facilitate everything DeFi. I think this will be like a browser-based wallet. So, if you're familiar with anything DeFi, Ethereum or MetaMask, it's basically going to be like that. So, these aren't websites you have to sign up on and explain who you are and all that. You just connect your wallet to it and you participate. So they're developing that wallet. Step 2, state-of-the-art all-inclusive atomic swap platform that allows atomic swaps as well as lending to liquidity pools and getting the best yield farming. ImpulseX token will be the native token of the platform and will allow receiving interest in IPX by lending to liquidity pools. So here we go. I think that's the first one that's coming out. I think they were calling it, it's his atomic swap. Okay, so basically means if you want to go in and swap Bitcoin for Ethereum, you can go in and do it through this. And this will be, like one part of the whole of their DeFi system, which is just one application on the whole ecosystem, which would be the first application. So how does this help IPX? Well, this is the part where people come in, they want to swap, they need liquidity. So again, a bank, you need people lending to the bank so other people can borrow it or just swap between assets. And all the mechanisms, how that work, I can't really say, but if you're putting in assets to these liquidity pools that people are using to swap, when they want to swap, they have to pay a fee. And that fee is basically a tax for doing the swap. And the liquidity providers will get the benefit of that tax. So if you provide it to that pool and there's swaps, you start earning for providing that liquidity. You're getting what the bank was getting, which is beautiful. Banks are scared of this, and they should be. Step 3, a revolutionary token that locks the value by taxing buyers and sellers and uses the tax through code to increase the network of the existing holders by always having more demand that's automatically programmed in the code to keep a base of support and push the price higher. It's a new DeFi innovation. It'll need atomic swap from step 2 to launch. It'll work like decentralized savings. Decentralized saving plan by buying and holding the store of value token. A lot of work went into the development. It's perfect economic code that will keep its price in a bullish trend in perpetuity because of the economic forces maintained automatically through the smart contract. So what they're talking about is they're going to have a savings token, instead of buying $1 and saving it, or even buying Bitcoin and saving it, or Ethereum. When you're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, DOT, in any of these cryptocurrencies, you're basically speculating. And what they've created here, and I don't know how, you know as much as I do right now as far as how they're going to do it, but you'll buy this token, and somehow by the use of the atomic swap function, this token will grow in value. So it's kind of a savings plan. So it's going to be taxing buyers and sellers, the tax through the code to increase net worth of existing homes. More demand. Yeah, so you can read through that yourself. So that's going to be pretty cool and be interesting to play around with. So that's another part of their DeFi that nobody else is doing. Cool. Can't wait to see it. So step 4, this is incredible. This is insane. I'm going to say that again. This is insane. This is so cool. And when this comes out, it is going to blow the lid off the whole world of crypto, let alone DeFi. State-of-the-art virtual machine, which allows wrapping everything crypto and non-crypto into a token on top of Eureka, bringing everything to Eureka. Eureka is the most scalable blockchain in the world, which will allow building the biggest DeFi ecosystem in the world. So if you don't know what a wrapped version of a token or a wrapped version of a coin is, I can kind of explain it to you like this. If you want to trade Bitcoin on an Ethereum decentralized exchange, you can't unless you wrap it into an Ethereum token. So you will actually have an Ethereum token that will represent the same value as Bitcoin, right? You have to have it wrapped. then you can take it as it's now an Ethereum token. Now you can go and trade it on a decentralized exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. To create this wrapped version of Bitcoin on the Ethereum blockchain, some developers have to create it and release it and do all this. So, I mean, I've read articles when there's two blockchains and one of them says, now we have wrapped 4 tokens from this blockchain, and it's a big deal, right? So you have wrapped versions from other blockchains so they can interlope with this blockchain. I hope I'm not confusing you, but it's like, okay, you have Waves blockchain. You can take Waves tokens, you can wrap them into Binance Smart Chain token, right? So you'll have a Waves token on the Binance Smart Chain. Developers have to develop those wrapped versions. Every single one of them, it's a lot of work. What these guys are talking about here is this will be user-friendly. This means users will be able to do it. That means you participating in Eureka DeFi, IPX DeFi, whatever they're going to call it, you'll be able to come in and say, okay, I want not just Ethereum, Bitcoin. You'll be able to take any token in existence from any blockchain, wrap it, and make a Eureka token out of it and start trading it on the DEX, the decentralized exchange, using it in liquidity pools and doing all kinds of stuff with it. It means basically that we could possibly have thousands of wrapped assets going on every day, every hour, every minute. Where this can go, nobody knows. I mean, it just could be huge. When you look at decentralized exchanges, say like Ethereum, you go on to an Ethereum DEX, you have mostly Ethereum tokens, right? And you will have some wrapped versions of Bitcoin, a wrapped version of this, a wrapped version of that here and there, and a little bit everywhere. You will come to Eureka's DEX and you will see everything crypto there. Everything can be wrapped into a Eureka token. Everything. And I'm not talking about just crypto. I'm not talking about just tokens and coins. They are also talking about wrapping real world assets into Eureka tokens, creating ecosystems for those to be traded on or trading them on the DEX. That means stocks, bonds, coffee, anything that has a trackable public price, like, you know, crypto. You know, you can go on an exchange and you can track the price of Bitcoin. It's the same thing. You can track the price of Microsoft stock. You can track the price of Apple stock. You can track the price of coffee bean futures right now. Any of that, they will have a system, and don't ask me how, but you will be able to wrap that into a token and probably create exchanges for it. How? We have these things called oracles. What does an oracle do? Oracle takes information from the real world, transfers it to the blockchain so the blockchain can understand it. That's all an oracle is. They have generic oracles that you can purchase from companies that create oracles, or you can have them specially made for you. Eureka is going to have all these oracles, and I think pretty much everything, all those oracles probably already exist. I guess I really don't know, but the oracle, that's actually how it'll work with the tokens and coins and everything. That's how they'll track the price. So, you know, just being able to wrap tokens and coins and bring it to their DEX, their decentralized exchange, that's something that nobody even has ever talked about. This is massive. I can't even tell you what I think about this. It's just crazy. Where this can go, through the roof, through the stratosphere, it can go absolutely ballistic. Then once you start adding real world assets to that, wow, it's incredible. And the system will work something like you have, I think they're using what you call vaults. So if you want to wrap Bitcoin, you will have your own individual vault, I believe. So you'll wrap it. You can use your Bitcoin or USDT, whatever you want to wrap. So you want to wrap USDT from the Ethereum blockchain and come use it to trade on the DEX on Eureka. No problem. Come wrap it, go in there, trade, do your normal trading, trade USDT into whatever you want to trade on the DEX and back out. And when you want to change it back to Ethereum, send it back out, unwrap it, and send it out. Now this also brings together the wrapping, the DEX, and the centralized exchange as well. Because say you might need Eureka to do this, so you'd send your Bitcoin into the centralized exchange, trade it to Eureka, send it over, do whatever you want to do with your Eureka, do your wrapping and all that on the exchange, come back out and back to the centralized exchange. You don't necessarily have to use Eureka X, because as we move along, Impulse, IPX, and Eureka will start being listed on more and more exchanges. And I think eventually everybody will just list it like they list Bitcoin, Ethereum, DOT, whatever else you want to mention, the top coins anyway. So that is a self-wrapping, and that is insane. Number 5, a revolutionary derivative decentralized platform. This allows traditional decentralized perpetual swaps on every crypto built or wrapped on top of Eureka, thus allowing everyone to long and short everything in a completely decentralized way. So it's a derivatives market they're building on a decentralized platform. Don't ask me really to explain that, but this will allow trading decentralized perpetual swaps in every crypto built or wrapped on top of Eureka, thus allowing everyone to long and short everything completely decentralized way. I don't really understand that, to be honest, but it sounds really cool. And just more. So I'm just reading through down here, working. They just wanted to share what they're doing to strive the best on your team, the rock stars working on it. So this groundbreaking edge, the DeFi breakthrough, propel Eureka and IPX into levels they should be at. The technology advantages of Eureka are proving to be decisive in our quest for perfection when it comes to the scalability of blockchain applications. The Eureka family deserves the best. Polaris being the first dev team of the Eureka networks, the first dev team, because remember, this is decentralized. Anybody can build a dev team on it, development team. Anybody can develop on it. It's out there just like Ethereum to incentivize people to come build on it. They're building the most inclusive DeFi ecosystem in the world. This will not only bring billions of dollars in value to Eureka ecosystem and Impulse X ecosystem, but it will also bring thousands of development teams. I think I got that cut off down there. So there you go, guys. I went through the DeFi. I've tried to explain it basically what it is, where the technology is, sidechain, all that. I hope, if you want to get into staking for IPX and get it for free and buy some cheap Eureka right now, when I'm making this video, you can look at the timestamp, but you can go to Eureka X, you can buy IPX there. It's like 1 sat right now, and I'm going to watch this again in about 6 months and see where we're at. And Eureka is actually really cheap right now too, because this is really just the kickoff here. They have been working on this blockchain for the last couple of years to build all this technology in the background. And now we're just getting to that point where, boom, really start launching and invite people to come build on it. Anybody can build a token on the Eureka blockchain right now, but I don't know if I mentioned it before, but having the side chains, the token on the side chain, they're actually stakeable tokens. Boom, another explosion just went off right there. Stakeable tokens on their own, 100% independent sidechain. Incredible. So the other thing that's coming for IPX, as long as we're on IPX token, is the decentralized cloud storage ecosystem. So they're doing the same thing. Still going to run on that side chain because it's IPX. I believe it'll be the same side chain. It might be different. I'm not too sure, but wow, they're also going to build a tool for that to incentivize people to come build on it. And how would that work? Decentralized cloud storage? Think about it. Decentralized finance is a bank without a bank. Decentralized cloud storage is cloud storage without an office building, without computers, without staff, without anybody, without anything. It exists in the cloud. So the way it would work is if you wanted to stake on the network, you can use your computer. And what you're going to stake is some space on your hard drive and some of your bandwidth, right? So people will be able to store stuff on your computer and just parts of it. I'll explain that in a second. But as people are using the decentralized cloud storage, and they already have customers for them because of Credit Cleaner, they'll be using the cloud storage. Because of SOT, what they're doing, all the social media, the 4 different social media platforms will need cloud storage as well, and they will use Safe Cloud, I think is what they're calling it. So they've actually already got customers. So you think about this, a normal cloud storage company like say Google, how do they work? Well, they got this huge building full of hard drives, CPUs, all kinds of equipment. They're using massive amounts of electricity. They have a lot of staff. They have a CEO. They have insurance. They have overheads like you can't believe. So the cost for them to provide that service is going to be, say, here, put it right up here on my forehead. There's their cost. I'm not saying it's expensive. I'm just giving you an idea. There's their cost. Now, decentralized finance, decentralized cloud storage, they're using part of your hard drive. And it's all done through everybody being nodes. So there is no office. There is no owners. There is no staff. There is no insurance. There is no massive electricity bill. There is no equipment. There's no desks. There's no pens. There's nothing. It all exists on the cloud and it's all decentralized. And the only point behind it is to bring value to that token, just like IPX. The whole point to this whole decentralized finance is to bring value to IPX token to help people make money. And the whole idea behind the cloud storage is also to bring value to IPX token. So you'll be able to earn IPX because people will pay in it. People that want to use that storage, they will get it actually quite cheap because they don't have all the overheads of all the electricity and the CEOs and the staff and the electrical engineers and very important too, they don't have big monthly bills for trying to keep hackers out for security, because everything on this cloud storage will be protected by blockchain technology. Nobody's ever hacked the blockchain. Nobody's ever hacked any blockchain. So you're protected by blockchain technology. And that is massive, especially for big companies. Big companies can spend millions of dollars a month on development teams in the back office that just sit there keeping hackers out. 6 layers of Cloudflare on their websites, they're protecting their own, and they still get hacked. The future is protecting data with blockchain technology. And to do that, you're also going to need cloud storage, and this is going to be a big one. So they're going to build the first application. Let's say I wanted to use it. How's it going to work? Just to give you a basic idea. So I put a picture up on the cloud storage. That picture, this is how I envision it, and I've read about some of this stuff before. I don't exactly know how these guys are doing it. Maybe a little bit different, but so you're going to break that picture up into 100 different pieces, and it's going to go to 500 different nodes around the world, those nodes being people with their computer. So it's gone to 500 different nodes. To put it back together, when I want to access that picture, it probably takes 100 pieces to put it. I only need 100 pieces, but it's on 500 nodes, so your data is protected. And the chance of 400 nodes going offline is highly, highly, highly unlikely. And I reckon also that the nodes will get rated by their uptime and their reliability, therefore probably getting more rewards and earning more IPX. So people will need to buy IPX. I guess if they go in and pay with a Visa card in dollars, it's going to go on and buy that off the exchanges? No, because it's DeFi, so I think it'll have to be paid in IPX. If somebody want to use the DeFi cloud storage, they need to go on the market and buy IPX. So, you know, that creates buyers right there too. So, okay, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to kind of go through and explain some of the technology behind what's going on with IPX token. And it's incredible if you ask me. If you would like to find Eureka Exchange to buy IPX or Eureka, I'll put the link down below. And if you want to, what else? If there's any other helpful links, I'll put them down below as well. That's it for me, guys. Thanks and bye. Oh yeah, Eureka stake. If you want to stake Eureka, you can go, like I said, you can go buy Eureka right now, stake it to get free IPX. You can buy the IPX from Eureka, up to you, but I'll put the Eureka stake address down there below as well. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye.